We need to begin with a warm-up in order to adequately prepare your tissues for the strain that we're about to place. By delivering proper circulation and oxygenation all over your body, we're not only reducing your risk of injury as you work out, but we're also improving your ability to recover following the workout. Time to warm up. Let's get going first with high knees. Everybody, here we go. Very good. See whether or not you can avoid the knee bend there, Nick. I like what I'm seeing, but I'd like to get those knees a little bit higher out in front of you. We'll do butt kicks separately, and that's where we'll get more knee bend. Nice job, Heather. I like it. Keep your breathing nice and even. Sniff breaths in, purse breathe out. That's how you can get a good diaphragmatic breath. Make sure you're not tiring yourself out too much on your warm-up. We're just heating you up segment by segment, making sure you have full tissue mobility, and then you can get the desired effect from your workout program today. Almost there. Doing great. I like the upright posture, the core support I see.
Hi again, this is Ruben again. I see you're getting familiar with my voice, but that's okay. I'm explaining to you the actual laws in a simple way. Most of us are not paying attention on a very important topic, that is good credit versus bad credit and lifestyle money management. Sorry that I have to repeat myself, but I think that this is a very important topic that I want everyone to listen and take action to become winners on controlling your money, your credit, your own economy, and your future retirement and finances. I know that by now you can relate what I am talking about. I'm so excited to let you know that thanks to Carlos' organization, he is helping a lot of folks in his community on how they can shift their credit, money, and current future income from negative to a positive level and better lifestyle. Now what I want you to do when you got time is watch these 4 very important videos about the new credit FICO system that is going to be in place in July of 2020 and 5 ways how to build credit faster than a credit repair expert can.
Hey, so in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 different tactics. That you could utilize to grow your credit score as fast as possible. Now, the big credit scores is that they usually take a really, really long time to build up. But in this video, I'm going to share with you a few different tactics that you could use to really grow that a lot faster if you need to boost it in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I think this video might help you out. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so let this with the most important one that can really boost your score very quickly. I'm talking 30 days, 45 days, maybe 60 days, and you can boost your score very quickly. This is great for people who have no credit history or possibly bad credit history. So anything really below 600 isn't necessarily too good for a credit score. Now, it's okay if you have a bad credit score. You can build it up over time, and that's the key here. So the best way to do this in a very short period of time, and this usually works, I'm going to share with you a few tips within here that you're going to want to be careful of so that you can sort of weave through this road and make sure that you get to the right place you need to be. So one of the best ways to do this is by becoming an authorized user under somebody else's account. Now, I'm going to leave a couple of links down below.
Hi, this is Ruben again. I see you're getting familiar with
Hello from beautiful British Columbia, Canada, and today I'm going to share something. A few years ago, I was going through a very difficult period in my life, and in a moment of quiet desperation, I decided to register for a 6-week meditation course to help me cope with some of the anxiety and some of the emotions that I was experiencing. After that, I was eager to learn more, so I also registered for a 8-day silent meditation retreat. And the things that I learned from the course and from the retreat have had such a profound impact on my life. And these are things I want to share with you today. Now, as a disclaimer, I am not a meditation guru or expert, and it's also not in my philosophy to do things in a way that feels strict or extreme. So I'm just going to encourage you to do what feels good. And I love the Yogi Who Taught course because he shared a very similar philosophy. He was always just encouraging us to do our best because essentially he didn't want to scare us away from all of the benefits of mindfulness and meditation. Now, also keep in mind that I am packing 6 weeks of information in 3 very short videos. So I'm also going to encourage you to take the time after each video to really relish in the moments.
The history of money in 10 minutes. Number 1, early money. Long before money was invented, people were quite happy making, doing, and growing things for one another. In small communities, they could largely remember the payments and receipts of what was exchanged. Keeping tabs or tallies of these exchanges helped with the key requirement, which was to record who'd been paid and who was still owed. But as communities grew, so the exchanges became more and more numerous. And as people created things for the common good and rulers began to impose taxes, so the accounting was increasingly hard to keep track of. IOU notes might have been a neat solution, but unless you knew the individual issuer personally, they were hard to enforce or verify. So instead, people started to use objects, such as whale's teeth, as a kind of IOU. This intermediate step in the exchange process meant that people were free to trade with anyone, and they could even store up purchasing power for later use with their retradable IOU tokens. So at the same time that humans invented money, they'd also invented debt. Number 2, metal money. Once people start using money to facilitate trade, whether in the form of shells, barley, feathers, or whale's teeth, some useful characteristics of money become apparent. Barley, for example, is heavy to carry, so not portable or even durable. Whale's teeth are hard to split into 2, so not easily divisible. Shells can be picked up on any beach, so not exactly scarce. And if the token standing as money doesn't have much intrinsic value, like feathers, it's hard to trade outside your community. Another noticeable feature of money was that having a lot of it made you powerful, and power could get you a lot of it. So kings hit on the idea of minting coins from precious metals, stamping them with an emblem that guaranteed their weight and value. Metal money ticked all the money boxes, and because it had intrinsic value, it could be used to trade with other communities. But the success of metal money brought temptation, and sovereigns soon realized that by sitting down the coins or slipping cheaper base metals into, they could make money by circulating debased currency worth less than face value. Number 3, paper money. Carrying around large quantities of coins could be exhausting work, and it was early Chinese rulers that hit on the idea of keeping their heavy coins back in the palace while issuing IOU certificates on paper for long-distance trading. Although the paper had no intrinsic value, people trusted that it was worth what it said it was worth, and they could always exchange it for gold or silver or the coins it represented. As global trade grew, the idea of paper money caught on. But traders and lenders were concerned that it was a bit too easy just to print money. So they tried to link the value of money to the value of gold, which had the benefit of creating a standard for exchange between different currencies. Attempts to peg currencies to a fixed gold standard continued for centuries. But the need for flexible exchange rates always prevailed, and since the early 1970s, the world has to keep to a gold standard. So today, the only thing that distinguishes the value of a banknote from any other paper is Number 4, controlling money. ago on the Pacific Island, the nearest thing to gold was the ray stone, notable for enormous size and weight. From the day the chiefs decided to ask for their taxes ray stones, it meant that for all taxpayers, the currency became universal, unavoidable, and under the control of the chief. The most valuable ray stones were just so heavy that the Yap population tended to leave their currency in one place and then trade effectively in promises. Any trader who owned a ray stone on Yap could issue a promissory note against the value of their stone. And thus, banking was born. And once the chiefs accept these promissory notes instead of ray stones for their taxes, they effectively lose control of the amount of money in circulation, the money supply. In the 20th century, some economists argued that the amount of money in circulation directly affects economic performance, and it is important for governments to try to control it. This is not easy, especially when it's private lenders that create most of it. Number 5, money and inflation. In the 16th century, Spain brought home massive additional supplies of precious metals for colonies. But what seemed like a dream come true, and should surely have boosted trade, turned sour when traders simply put up the price of their goods to match this new purchasing power. So the returners were no better off, and those without the new gold were even worse off. It was only those who had debts, which had in effect got smaller, who were actually better off. This was the first appearance of the theory that too much money chasing too few goods can cause inflation. Unless that is, that traders produce more goods, or unless the newer, bigger money supply circulates less rapidly by people saving more, either because they are rich enough or because they're particularly gloomy about the future. Number 6, international money. In the 18th century, they forced their colonies in America to pay their taxes in pounds, and they made it illegal for the British colonies to print their own money. This meant that the colonies were forced to trade with the motherland to access the currency. According to Benjamin Franklin, the American War of Independence was caused by the sheer burden of British taxation and the disadvantageous trade needed to access British pounds. And the hard-won freedom after the war allowed the Americans to create the American dollar, which, because of the country's vast trade and trustworthy tax base, eventually became the most widely used currency on the planet, leading many countries, including Britain, to store large reserves of dollars. But by choosing to keep a reserve currency in dollars, the UK ceded at least some power back to those runaway Americans. Number 7, money and building banks. By the 19th century, banking had become a thoroughly respectable business. Making a profit by basic money lending, banks paid a lower rate of interest for the money they took in than they charged on the money they loaned out. But the banks soon realized that as long as depositors didn't all ask for their money at once, they could in fact lend out many times more money than they had on deposit. This is known as fractional reserve banking. On rare occasions when depositors all tried to get their money out at once, there was a run on the bank, and the effect on the wider economy was so serious that government started to insure customers' deposits to prevent it happening, and thereby enabling banks to loan out more and more. By the 21st century, some banks had taken fractional reserve banking to a whole new level, funding most of their loans not from cash deposits from savers, but with loans from other banks, often secured against bundles of previous loans. So when there was a run on the bank in 2007, banks like Northern Rock not only didn't have enough money to pay out, but the effect went way beyond just one bank. Number 8, money and saving the banks. To understand how governments tried to prevent global financial meltdown after 2008, economists distinguish between two kinds of money. Money created by banks inside the banking system and money created by governments outside the banking system. When a bank creates money by making a new loan, the bank acquires a new private asset, the loan, with an equivalent private liability to the borrower to pay it. This is money created inside the banking system. Governments can create money by selling new bonds. These bonds go into circulation as new private assets, but there is no equivalent private liability to pay them. Instead, this outside money is added to the public debt. Although it's normally a very small percentage of total money in the economy, It was this outside money that was used to buy up the bank's bad private debts and write them off. The private sector retained its wealth with new assets inside the system, supported by government, with public debt from outside the system. Number 9, the power of money. Since the last traces of a gold standard disappeared in 1993, the world has carried on trading in US dollars, even though these aren't backed by anything of intrinsic worth. The US government's decision to borrow billions for its bank rescue and stimulus plan dramatically increased the supply of dollars, and some predicted that this would lead to a big fall in the dollar's value, on the basis that economies which print money so they can consume more than they produce will suffer price inflation and exchange rate depreciation. But 6 years on, this still hasn't happened. Why then does the dollar retain its value? Perhaps with so much of the world holding its wealth in US dollar assets, people simply have faith that the dollar retain its value. And the knowledge that so many others share that faith reinforces the general optimism that the dollar will stay strong. Number 10, future money. Minted coins and paper money, once the cutting edge of technology, are now used in only 2% of transactions. Credit card and electronic banking technology has enabled massive global transactions to take place in the fraction of a second. And digital technology is enabling new currencies to be created. Linden dollars, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies, which exhibit the enduring characteristics of money, being hard to forge, durable, portable, divisible, and limited in supply, and which may even challenge the power of government-backed money. But until a government accepts taxes in Bitcoins or other privately issued currencies, or banks start lending in them, they are not much different from any other token, such as whale's teeth. One sign that a new form of money has become important will be when governments and banks try to control it. And if governments and banks continue to have the power to control money, those who use it will always wonder to what purpose will they put that power.
Easy exercise to help diabetes. Here's why exercise is a great idea for diabetics. A physical activity program can help you improve your blood sugar and accelerate your metabolism. Combining regular exercise while following healthy diet recommendations is strongly recommended for controlling weight and improving health markers. Exercising helps lower body mass and can decrease the insulin resistance of type 2 diabetes. Studies have shown that people with type 2 diabetes who exercise regularly have better A1C profiles than those who don't exercise. Here are more benefits of exercising 3 times a week. Helps your body use insulin, which controls your blood sugar, burns extra body fat, strengthens muscles and bones, lowers blood pressure, improves blood flow and cardiovascular health, reduces the chances of heart disease and stroke, cuts LDL, bad cholesterol, raises HDL, good cholesterol, boosts energy and mood, improves sleep, reduces stress. Here are some
Every 6 steps has a proper procedure that every credit repair client
should know better, 'cause you always do this to me. But you start to play. Later this believer I made. And I promised myself it would never happen again. Oh, here I stand, heartbroken and really got me, really got me, really got me.
Welcome, I'm David from Crediversio. Welcome, I'm David from Versio, and I want to start the short demonstration video by giving you some very encouraging news if your goal is to fix your credit and increase your credit score. For perhaps the first time ever, your own credit is simple, it's fast, and it's cheap. And the reason why I said for the first time ever is because fixing your credit has always been a little challenging. In this video, I'll introduce you to Credit Versio, the most advanced and easy to use do-it-yourself credit repair system ever created. You don't need a credit repair company. You can easily do everything yourself. Let's get started. When you log in, you'll see your dashboard. I've already gone through the sign-up process. That took me less than 60 seconds, and I linked my 3-bureau credit.
Hey guys, today we have Katie Dunlap of Love Sweat Fitness here to take us through a 5-minute standing abs routine.
Yes, these are my favorite workouts. I have a ton of them on my channel because in just 5 minutes, you're going to get a super fast and effective abs workout. I know you're going to feel the burn, so let's get started. All right, we got 30 seconds on this left leg. Hands are going to come behind the head. Standing bicycle, you're going to lift and twist, rotate, tap it down.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey guys, this is me, Carlos. I just want you guys to find out about what an asset and liability is and what's middle income versus the rich people, how they, manage their money versus how we manage our money. So check this out and listen and pay attention. Turn on your cell phones, turn them off. Watch this video in a place where you can focus on it and just listen to what he has to say, because this is what I'm doing and this is how I save my money and how I can make more money, especially in this economic issues that we have with this COVID-19 pandemic and also with these money problems that we all have it in, so check it out. Any questions, just send me a message back and my email, or leave me a comment on my Facebook and things like that. So let me know what you think about it.